If you feel like you want to get more out of your TheraSaaS CRM, this video is for you because I'm going to walk you through my favorite 16 killer features of the TheraSaaS CRM. And because this is going to be a longer video, please avail yourself to all the chapter markings below and the links that are relevant to the support articles that I'll be mentioning and referencing. And if you're not a TheraSaaS subscriber yet, head over to TheraSaaS.com to schedule a demo call with me today. All right, let's jump into the video. And my first killer feature are SmartLists. SmartLists inside TheraSaaS is really just a quick way for you to be able to reference contacts or a segmented audience inside of TheraSaaS. So in my demo account here, you're going to see several smart lists right along the top. And you'll see this little button here that says Add Smart List. So what are some really great use cases for using a smart list? Some of them are like for referral sources, which is like my favorite way of doing this. So for example, the way that I like to start tracking referral sources inside TheraSaaS is you create a smart list. I call it referral sources. And what I do is I'm going to go ahead and hit the advanced filters button. And over here, you're going to see there's a custom field. And that is the how did you hear about us? So you're going to look for something similar. All you have to do is, how did you hear about us? Right. And then you can also have like a drop down. We have a couple different versions. This is inside our demo account, but how did you hear about us is not empty. Okay. Select that. And then you can hit apply. And then there will also be, you'll see a button there that says like save smart list if you make any changes. And so what you'll see is you will then see only people who have been, who filled out the how did you hear about us. Now, if this is not showing up for you, this column right here, I want you to be able to add that column. So let me show you how to do that. So I want you to go over to this customized list right here and click on this. So you're going to see 7 fields are selected. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unclick this one for our purposes. And because this is a custom field inside TheraSaaS, we created this as a unique field so we could track this information on the forms that we have inside TheraSaaS. So I'm just going to, how did you hear? So what you're seeing is there's an application, new hire application. How did you hear about this position? How did you hear about us? So I'm going to select that there. And then I'm going to hit apply. You can also add another custom field if you want, but let's go ahead and hit apply. And then you'll probably need to hit save. And now you're going to have this column inside of this. All right. So what you do then is you're like, okay, if there's a specific name that's mentioned, let's say it's Albus Dumbledore. Okay. What you could do is take Albus Dumbledore's information, add them as a contact inside here. So you just add a contact, Albus Dumbledore, put that information in. And then you're going to add a tag, let's just say to Albus. Let's just type in Albus here, Dumbledore the second. You'll see some tags right here. So you're going to want to create a tag or add the tag referral source because that's what he is a referral source. Okay. And then if you want, and I'm diving in a little deeper here. If you want, click over here onto the associations. It's this little tiny little icon right here. If you click on the associations, you can add a company and then you can attach a company to Albus here. So this is like Acme Testing Center. Okay. So you create the company, all that information. So that way you can attach several contacts or referral sources to a particular company. And this is helpful if you have if there's like a larger practice that refers to, or inpatient or outpatient. Okay. And then you have this association right here that you can make with them. Okay. All right, so we tagged Albus as with a referral source. Let's go back to our contacts and let's go ahead and go to referral sources. So what I did here was I created another smart list, right? So I had a smart list. You can see there's already 2 that's been applied. And I said, look, show me everyone who's been tagged a referral source and then has a referral source greater than 5. All right, let's jump back over and see what that referral source count is all about. If you want, you can keep track of referral sources, what I call a referral count. Again, this is another custom field, but let's just jump into Albus Dumbledore here. And I'm going to scroll all the way down. Sorry for all these questions here. And referral count. And I'm going to say 15. Let's just go ahead and hit 17. Okay. And then we're just going to hit save. And let's go back. And you'll see that Albus Dumbledore which that did not update. Let me refresh. All right, just took a second for the Service update. Okay, so we have 17 here. I have last notes. This is another custom field. We sent flowers to Albus, how are the referral count, and then you have your tag. Again, if you need to update any of these fields that you see, those columns, you can add those information right here. Or you can add a custom field to it as well. This would be a custom field. All right, so I'm getting into the weeds a little bit, but I wanted to be able to show you that you could use these tags and smart lists to create real powerful smart lists. So what you can do then is your most top referral sources, you can select all those and send an email if you want. You say, hey, you got a new hire. You want to promote that clinician to your top referral sources. Or you can create, set up a meet and greet for that new clinician. And you can also pull reports really quickly as well. All right, so that is a great use case for smart lists. The other thing you could use, let's say if you have an open house and you want to be able to keep track of all the open house attendees, we'll just create a tag that says open house attendee and an automation that adds that tag to somebody when they fill out the open house form that you would create inside TheraSaaS. All right, so that is how to use smart list and tags to create segmented audiences inside TheraSaaS. And it's a great way for your team to be able to access people that you might need to communicate quickly with, or just to gather some data on. And now let's jump into my second favorite killer feature inside TheraSaaS, and that's the use of snippets, or what most people call email and text messaging templates that you can use. Let's jump in. Okay, if you want to get into snippets, all you have to do is click on your marketing and then click on snippets. These are the templates that you can use. And a couple things. One, you can organize templates inside folders, but this is how you would get started. New snippet. Click on this. All right, let's see if there's some other examples that we could use for snippets. What are some common ways people use snippets? Well, some of them could be just general FAQs. All right, so let's take a look at this one here. Open this up. All right, thank you so much for reaching out with your question. We would love to help you during this season if we can. To best answer your question, I'm sending our FAQ attached. So you can send PDF attachments in these snippets as well. It can talk about insurance options, or if you have any further questions, they can reach out and get booked. And here's a couple things about snippets. One, you can see the mobile view here. Always send a test email to yourself to make sure it works and see how it looks. And this is just one example. You could also send parking information. So if you have kind of like a complex parking situation, you can also send that. You can send templates based on appointment reminders if you need to remind them of an appointment. So for example, we could go over to, by the way, you can have your folders here, but let's go to all snippets and you'll see there's some text-based ones here. If you want, you can send a text-based, this is just an example. But let me show you how powerful these can be, because you want to be able to use what we call, these are the contact values, or what do we call them? Custom values and triggers. So hello, and it's going to pull their first name. This is the name of the person who's sending the email. So that would be me or some user inside TheraSaaS, from the name of your practice. Are you interested in medication management for, and then this is like, what are you seeking service for? Is this going to be for, is this for yourself or for your child, or whatever it might be? So this is just a powerful way to use custom fields and using snippets. So please, if you haven't, spend some time building out your snippet library. So when you go into contacts and we have an email here, you can go down and you can simply add a snippet, and all those would be right here. Okay. All right, so that is the use of snippets. If you haven't done it, it's going to save your intake team a ton of time. Put them in there and get it going. You can also send a snippet for like your client portal. If you have like Simple Practice or something, you can send a link, create a template that sends the link out. All right, so that is the review of the snippets, or the email and text message snippets templates that you can use inside TheraSaaS. I'm going to jump over to my third favorite killer feature, and that is how to use TheraSaaS as a hiring funnel. Let's jump in. Okay, when it comes to the hiring funnel, I already did a long YouTube video on this. So I'm going to reference the how-to, kind of the behind the scenes, and how to create a hiring funnel inside TheraSaaS. But just to kind of show you what this looks like in practicality here. So this is one of my marketing clients, Bloom. And we have a careers page. You just click on the careers page and that comes up here. And all the information on becoming a child therapist at Bloom. And if you scroll all the way down, you can see One is apply for internship at Bloom. Now, if you click on that, you'll notice the link changes to a TheraSaaS link. And inside here is actually, this is a TheraSaaS survey. You can see it's a two-part survey down here. But you can use a form or a survey and then use this to collect information about the potential hire, okay, and any type of instructions that you have. So I have a whole breakdown of kind of the hiring and screening process for new hires or ones that you're looking to hire inside this video. And what that looks like getting inside your system, they get inside of TheraSaaS. So they fill out the form or survey, they become a contact inside TheraSaaS. We have an automation that we show you how to build that you can tag them as applicant, and then you can put them in a pipeline that then shows them where they are in the hiring process. I do this on the demo calls. So you can create a pipeline inside and you can put them in there and you can move them along to the different stages of your hiring process. All right. So that's a real cool killer feature that you can use, that not just collecting client lead information, but you can also use it as a hiring funnel inside TheraSaaS. And hey, if you made it in this video so far and you're liking the content, can you give me a thumbs up and possibly share it with your intake team or your admin team so they can get up to date on some really cool killer features inside TheraSaaS? All right, so let's jump into my fourth and favorite killer feature. And these are some of the new AI tools that we're rolling out inside TheraSaaS. So let's jump in. I'm going to show you a couple. All right, the first killer AI tool that we are rolling out, and we're calling it the AI Receptionist. So if you can see this, if not, I have a video on how to make this all work. But if you don't see, okay, let me go to the next one. All right, the first killer AI tool that we're coming out with is we're calling it okay. The first killer AI tool that we are coming out with, we are calling it a voice receptionist. So this is somebody who can answer the phone for you when it's either after hours, or if your intake team can't pick it up right away, or it could always answer your phone, and it's at a fraction of the cost. So what we do is we have an AI agent and we have a whole help desk on this, but we tell it what the goals are, what they're doing, the role, how to actually collect information. Because at the end of the day, we want your voice AI receptionist to really just do a couple things. One is to let them know that that they're calling and speaking to an AI receptionist. And really the goal is to just get their name, email, and their issue why they're calling, and then pass it along to the intake team or the practice owner. So we create we create the prompts for you, the availability of the phone answering service, how you want them to behave, and then any dashboards or logs, who called, how long it was, all that information gets recorded right here. Okay. So we have a whole knowledge base set up on this. And even I have a YouTube video. This is early on. I got to make a new one. It's way better now, but how the AI receptionist works. Okay. So if you don't see the AI agents come up yet, all you need to do is go down to the submit a support ticket and then let them know that you are looking AI employee, and just let us know, hey, can you turn this on for my account? Because it's still in beta. We're perfecting it, but it works out pretty good. So please let us know, and we can even send you a link to test it out yourself. All right, the next really cool tool that we're building out in TheraSaaS is what I'm calling a therapist matching agent. So the way the matching agent works is that you create a document, and we have templates for this around your clinicians and their team of therapists, and you upload like what their specialties are, who their ideal client is, like their niches, all that stuff, certifications, trainings, and you give it all this information. So when somebody comes to your website, you can have a little bubble here. I just have it on the side for ease. And it just says, hi, I'm here to help you choose a therapist. Type starts to get started. So we'll do that. And that will start to engage the AI bot. I'm going to just zoom in here for you. All right. It says, I am the therapist matching assistant. If this is an emergency, do not use this if this is an emergency. And are you looking for child counseling or for yourself or for a teen? I'm just going to say, myself. And then it's going to start to engage a little bit more on the prompts and maybe get a little more information. And this is in real time. I am not pausing it. And some people are like, can you go faster? Yes, but it's also doing AI and sending tokens and API calls back and forth. So I'm going to say, I'm going to say trauma and ADHD. All right. So it's still, we're going back to the thinking. And the really cool thing is this will record the conversation inside TheraSaaS. All right. So it's doing It's going to recommend 2 therapists that work with adults and provide links to their profile page so they can go and search for it. This is really helpful if you have a lot of clinicians on your team, or if you have more than 4 or 5 or 6. This could just be a really simple tool to create, to use inside TheraSaaS. And I could say, great, thank you, or whatever. And it should be ending out these conversations with a recommendation to go to the intake page where they can um, fill out a TheraSaaS form right here. So great. After you check out the pages, here's a new client to get started. And then sometimes if you want it to have it trained like this, you can ask it if they wanted someone on the team to reach out to them directly. Okay. And then you can start the conversation that way. And if we were to go over back into TheraSaaS and click on conversations, you'll see it just made up a visitor name because we didn't collect any information up front, but you can see the whole conversation that we had right here. So it records the whole thing. So this is really just the beginning of using an AI therapist bot, or just maybe having an AI bot on your website to be able to answer very common questions. We're at the very beginning of this, but it's pretty exciting. It's at like just a few cents per conversation. It's not that expensive, and it can do some of the heavy lifting that your intake coordinators often do on the phone. So now you're freeing up your intake coordinators to really just focus on the leads that are highly qualified and being able to jump on a call with them and then schedule them. So again, trying to use TheraSaaS and their different tools to do some of that heavy lifting. We want TheraSaaS in your website to be a 24/7 sales machine. So that was the number 4 killer feature inside TheraSaaS with the AI bots. More to come on that. So let's keep moving to my 5th killer feature, which is using the membership course module for internal training and possibly even courses to sell. Let's jump in. All right. So let's jump over to the membership module. We're going to go to memberships. Don't worry about the client portal. We're going to go to products under courses, and you can create as many membership courses as you want. A lot of people will use this to sell CEs through, because you can create quizzes and surveys inside TheraSaaS. You can connect all that. But what a lot of practice owners do is create an internal training course. I created one for marketing, but here is an internal training course. This is the inside of the training course here. And so you can upload videos, you can upload audio. This is something my wife did. As soon as somebody gets hired at Kid Matters, she puts them inside this training course so that they can go through a step-by-step process. Like, let's review the policy manual, and you can link out to the different attachments. Like, you can link out to your employee manual. These could be PDFs, or you could just do Google Doc links out here. For example, it's a really beautiful layout too. Let me just go back. For example, with the video, you can just I'm going to hit the preview button here, and you can see it's laid out really nice. And so every new TheraSaaS subscriber gets this inside their account, and you just have to go in and update it and then make it go live. Okay. So that's a really great feature. And my wife's a play therapist, so she has to create a lot of courses around training people to work with children, training clinicians. So suicide procedure and documentation, all these things. And then she created a quiz to make sure they were able to learn the material, which is pretty cool. So passing grade is 75%. All right, so that was killer feature number 5, and that is creating an internal training course for your team for when you hire somebody, or if you just need to do professional development. You can do all that inside of TheraSaaS. All right, so let's jump into killer feature number 6, and this is using calendars. So if you are a practice that likes to do free, like 10 or 15-minute consultation calls, you can set up a TheraSaaS calendar inside TheraSaaS, link it to your Google calendars if you want, and then they can book a consultation call. So this is what Calendly does, what Acuity does. It's all built inside TheraSaaS. Let's jump in. I'll show you a couple things. So I'm going to show you first what this looks like in practicality. So I use TheraSaaS to run TheraSaaS, and here's the TheraSaaS calendar. And here you can click on this information, select, and then they can fill out a form. You can customize this form, attach a current form to the calendar, but that is how they can schedule. So you could embed this on your website. Let me show you another really great example. So I also do coaching with Brent around marketing and things like that. So the nice thing is you can actually attach a credit card to this. So if you provide coaching, let's just say here, select, and then you're just going to fill out this form, and then it will be able to collect that credit card information right there. And as long as it's attached to your Stripe account inside TheraSaaS, that money gets all deposited right there. So that's another great way to use the form. Here's like another way that some practice owners we're toying around this right now. So let me show you another marketing. We have a thank you page. So after somebody submits the TheraSaaS form, they get redirected to a thank you page. A nice little video here from Carly. But we're playing around with the idea of maybe placing a calendar for them to be able to schedule a free 15-minute consult with the intake coordinator. So you could put one right here and say, hey, thanks for submitting the form. Would you like a free 15-minute consult? And then put that consult, calendar. You can embed it right there on your website. The other idea that you can do is, instead of having to schedule an appointment, which goes to the TheraSaaS form right there, okay, you could also, instead of contact us, you could say schedule free consult. That can go to the TheraSaaS embed page where you have it, or you could also send it to a direct link that's inside of TheraSaaS servers themselves. So what do I mean by this? So let's just say, so this is like the onboarding call. So you could just hit the share calendar button. I'll zoom in here, hit the share calendar button, and then grab this link. All right. So just for an example, and put it in there, and then they can schedule it right from this page. So the idea would be then is if they were to click on this link here, this contact us, maybe this would say schedule free consult. It can be linked and just pop it up right here and they can fill it out. So you don't have to embed it directly on the website. So make sure you set it up with your Google Calendar or sync it with your Google Calendar so you're not double booking. But the really cool thing about this is you can then automate reminders. So let's go over into our automations here real quick and click on automations. And then we're going to find, one second, I have a bunch of automations. So what you'll see here is we have an automation. So if someone books a tech call, right? So booked an appointment, make sure the calendar says it's the right calendar that you want to use. It's going to have all these other automations pulled in, internal notifications, and then another wait step 24 hours before the appointment. It's going to send some reminder emails down here. Sorry, I'll zoom in a little bit. And then we also have text message reminders as well. And then another wait step, that's 1 hour before the appointment and things like that, 10 minutes before the appointment. So you can then leverage a lot of these automations for the calendar book appointment. So they show up and have that conversation, or they can reschedule with the reschedule links that are inside. All right, so that's the calendar feature. So if you're not using this yet and you offer free appointments or you want to charge for coaching, you can use TheraSaaS to book those appointments or book coaching calls and have people pay for it right through TheraSaaS. All right, that's killer feature number 6. Let's jump into killer feature number 7, and that's sending a newsletter through TheraSaaS, or at least getting your newsletter started. So I want to point you to a couple resources before we jump into the Start Your Practice newsletter. Is that I have a couple of videos that I'll link to here on how to automate your email newsletter, and I dive into TheraSaaS and how to use it a bit more. And we also have a knowledge base article inside of TheraSaaS on walking you through how to start it. And I have a longer video here. But why is it really important to have a newsletter? Is this is an easy way for you to directly communicate to referral sources, to your contacts, your leads, everything and everyone inside TheraSaaS you can send an email to. And this is great because, one, it builds a brand. And even if they don't read it, they see your name pop up. So you just kind of show up in their inbox, reminding them you're there. If you have any special events like an open house or like a group class you want to promote, or if you hired a new clinician, this is why you need a newsletter. Or let's just say there's a YouTube video that you made or a blog post that you wrote about. You can have a newsletter that sends out to this. So everyone should have inside their TheraSaaS account a template like this. If not, just let us know. You can find, if you click on new, so if you go to marketing, emails, and click on new, you can go to your templates. You can pick lots of different templates to choose from that's already inside your account, or email marketing templates, and this will pop up and you can choose different email marketing templates if you'd like to use. Okay, so you have your templates, and from your templates, you make campaigns from there, and you can send out an email. So let me just show you a real campaign inside TheraSaaS, we had some updates to the user experience, the UI that came out. So we have a template, but you can see here that we have a scheduled email that went out. And if I click on the side here, oh, first of all, this is really great. You can see statistics on how things are going. So how many unsubscribes, delivered, all that bounced inside your TheraSaaS account. So it gives you all this really great information. All right, so we have a campaign that was sent out, and then you can see the details, how many were opened. I can load more statistics. All right, and now you can see in here, this is kind of interesting. I saw that there was a conversion. So one of these emails that was sent out actually had a tool that I had that I was selling for $19. And you can also, so if you have products associated with these emails that go out, you can actually see the revenue on it. But now you can see all the really great statistics, conversion, clicked, open, delivered, those things, all very important when sending out emails. But you can see that the email that went out, you can preview the email. It's all right here. So if you haven't started an email newsletter yet, use TheraSaaS because you're automatically building your email list because they are consenting on that little TheraSaaS form. They are consenting for you to be able to email them and reach out to them with email. So use it. And it's only like 0.001 cents or something like that per email. It's not that expensive. It's a great way to grow your brand. And it's probably one of the most important ways to grow your brand and have direct access to your audience. All right, so that was killer feature number 6 and starting your practice newsletter. And killer feature number 7 is all about social media. We have a social media calendar inside of TheraSaaS, so you can schedule posts. So let me show you a little bit of what that looks like. Let's jump in. All right, to get to your social media planner, go to marketing on the left-hand side of the menu, jump over to social planner, and here we have the social media planner. Now, this is inside my Brand Your Practice account. So you can connect your socials right here, and they got new connections you can make. All right, so you can connect to all the ones you want there, and you have your content, comments if you want to import your comments. Now, I don't spend a lot of time in the social media planner. My assistant schedules these posts, and I'm going to show you what that looks like for a second. But it's got a lot of other tools like social listening. What are some of these trends that are happening? And of course, you have your settings. So let's go into the different social accounts that we have connected. And sometimes you got to reconnect them because the APIs expire. All right, so let's jump back. And here's what I love. It's kind of shows you the different posts, but I love this calendar view. So then I can see what is going to be posted or scheduled to be posted or what has been published. All right. So you can also click on the preview and it's going to take me to the LinkedIn post that was put through there by my assistant. And she does a great job with this. Let me show you what a new post looks like. Let's create a new post. Select the account. Let's just go to the LinkedIn here, the LinkedIn personal. And what I like about this is you can put your post here and your videos and all that and schedule it out. You can schedule this post or you can send it to approval. So if you have someone who's doing social media posts for you, you can send it out for approval and then you can approve it. Who's going to approve it? You get notified and then you can approve it or not or ask for updates that way. And then you can also schedule a reoccurring post for a period of time if you want posts to pop up every so often. All right. So if you are doing social media posts, a lot of times there's softwares are going to charge you a lot of money for that, but it's all built in here in the TheraSaaS and you can keep it all in one place. So it's a pretty cool tool. And of course, you can check out your statistics as well, which by the way, LinkedIn, I don't think actually doesn't give you the permission to feed statistics back in. So that's why you're not seeing anything in this account. But for others, it will allow you like Facebook and Instagram. All right. The 9th killer feature that I want you to know about inside TheraSaaS is to fill out your brand voice or your brand boards and brand voice inside of TheraSaaS. And why this is helpful is that it's going to allow you to be consistent across social media posts, email campaigns that you write, because it's going to be able to use that as kind of the backbone to be able to write emails for you because you can use AI to write emails inside TheraSaaS, and it's pretty cool. And it also allow you to make sure that you're using the right colors as well. This is something that Canva does and other programs do as well. It's inside TheraSaaS. So let's take a quick look and we'll show you what I mean. So to get to this, just go to marketing here, and then you got your brand boards on the top. So let's click on brand boards, and you can see I have one here for Brand Your Practice. Sorry, let me show you. You have the design kit, and the brand voice. All right. So this is a way you can maintain your visual identity by matching logos, colors, and design elements. So you have your brand board, and all I did is I put my logo and the different colors and then the different fonts that I use, Playfair and Open Sans. Okay. And then there's your colors there on the side. And here are the fonts that you can put up. You can get up to 5 fonts. All right. So let me go back over here, and then now let's zoom into the brand voice. So what is my brand voice? Right here, my tone is direct, action-oriented, empathetic, real, and relatable. Therapists of mental health practitioners looking to scale their practice. Now, a lot of this gets discovered if you just put in your Google domain, and it will pull some of this. Sorry, not your Google domain, just your website domain. It can scan it and start to pull out information like this. So there wasn't a whole lot that I had to update here, but my main scheduled call to action is to schedule a consultation or a coaching call with me. So I think they are able to pull that from the main call to action button that I have on here. See, coaching call. Okay, so that's brand board. So be sure to go in, take a few minutes and fill it out. Now I'm going to jump over to my next, and I'm looking at my notes over here. I'm going to look into my next killer feature that I want you guys to dive into is the dashboard customization. So I'm going to show you this link here, and we already have a knowledge base on creating custom dashboards. So you have a standard templated dashboard, and what I did a video on here, it's on the YouTube channel. Click on that and then mute it as fast as possible. So that's right here. And what I'm doing here is showing you Kid Matters Counts as my wife's practice and basically how to recreate this dashboard a bit. So obviously this is a standard template. You have your opportunities that have come in, 41 form fills that have been filled out, open, lost, won, and you have your conversion rate. And then this is just new contacts. This is just how many people have been coming into the CRM, either phone numbers or emails, or just contact cards, people filling out the forms on our website. And then I also have this is you would probably have to create a new dashboard for yourself here. Just create a new dashboard if you're an admin. I'm going to edit this one here. And this is how you would bring in a lot of these extra um, widgets is what we call them. So for example, this widget right here is one opportunities. And so, if I was to click on that count of opportunities, I can click save and you can see the different ways and that should show up. So what you're seeing here is one opportunities as a number. Okay. And then we can give it parameters a little bit. So what is the date comparison? So I'm just going to say, let's just say previous 31 days, but really it's the dashboard date is what we want. But you can do the previous 31 days. And then you could also give it conditions as well. Status is one. If there's a particular pipeline you want to track, you could just say pipeline here is, and then select that pipeline that you want to track. So in this case, it's going to be new client. This is what we want to track. We don't want to track hires for this. Then we could save changes if we want. Right. So those are one opportunities, and you would see this right here is consistent with the one opportunities here and this demonstration of it. So these are the one opportunities broken out over the course of the last, what would we say, 31 days. So the dashboard dates are up here. And then when they were won. Okay. So this is just a little overview of customizing that dashboard. And I broke it all down in here in this YouTube video and also in our knowledge base. So that is how you do a customized dashboard. If it's inside of TheraSaaS, there's a good chance you can display it either in a numerical form or in some sort of a pie chart or a line chart. And I'm looking at my notes over here. I'm going to look into my next killer feature that I want you guys to dive into is going to be diving deeper into advanced reporting. So if you want to be tracking Google Ads, Psychology Today, I have a resource for you. And I think it's really important that you track where your traffic is coming from. TheraSaaS can track that information for you. So let's jump in and I'll show you a few things so you can get yourself acquainted with how to be able to track that external traffic coming to your website and then using TheraSaaS to see where that, the attribution of where that traffic is coming from. Let's jump in. All right. So first of all, inside our knowledge base, we do have an advanced reporting, a whole video on this. So where's that knowledge base at again? It's going to be on a link on the left-hand side of your TheraSaaS, right down here, your knowledge base. You could click on that and type and ask questions in here. This is just the advanced reporting. All right, so I have a whole video on that, and I have an entire deep dive webinar on how to track Psychology Today leads and optimizing it and doing things like that. So if you follow the video here, then the tips that I give in the video and in the knowledge base, you will be able to go to your reporting on the left-hand side and go to attribution report. And then you'll be able to start to track traffic that is from, like this is a Google My Business listing, or now it's called Google Business Listing. And so we're able to track the traffic coming onto our website and getting into TheraSaaS. And what's great about this is if once somebody fills out the form, you'll see the contact name show up right here. And then that way you're going to be able to link a conversion event with an actual contact inside of TheraSaaS. It's pretty cool stuff. So definitely check out that killer feature and dive deeper into reporting. All right, killer feature number 12 inside TheraSaaS is the engagement score. So there's a really interesting way to gauge engagement of particular client leads or contacts inside of TheraSaaS, and that's using a scoring system. So let me show you how you can set this up and maybe some creative ways in order to gauge an engagement level of a potential client. So over in here, if you go back here and go to settings down here in the bottom left, go to settings, and then in that settings, you're going to go to your manage scoring. Okay, so the way the manage scoring works, once you set it up here, you're going to find that on the conversations tab over here on the left-hand side, you will see these numbers. These are the engagement numbers. So your team could see who's engaged, who's not engaged, and if you need to, set priority levels and who to respond to. So obviously the higher engagement, the more they're interested in scheduling an appointment because they've engaged with your brand in so many different ways. All right. So that was killer feature number 12 is the engagement scoring inside TheraSaaS. Killer feature number 13 is engage with our support team and knowledge base. Let me show you how to do that real quick. So we have a really robust knowledge base and we have a great support ticketing system. So knowledge base first, if you have a question about TheraSaaS, go to the knowledge base first. We have tons of videos on here. So they're structured in different categories, phone systems, all that stuff. So avail yourself to this information. The second one, if you get stuck, just submit a support ticket. So for example, you can submit a support ticket there. And let's say you want to get started with one of the AI tools. So just let us know what you want and we can turn it on for you and set it up. Or if you're having an issue with your, let's say like automations and workflows, then we can help you do that as well. What's amazing about a support team, it's all in-house. We do not outsource it like many of our competitors do. They're all on my payroll. So you get direct access to them, submit a support ticket. They usually respond within 16 to 17 minutes. And then let's see here, recently we've been averaged for the last month, we've averaged a resolution time of all our tickets within 17 hours. So not even a full day. We have an amazing support team. So if you get stuck, reach out to them. All right. Killer feature number 14 is to use TheraSaaS to be able to collect emails when you speak at an event or you want to give away something for free, but you need somebody's email address to be able to deliver that. And how to use automation inside TheraSaaS to do those actions for you. So it's just all on autopilot. All right, so let's jump in. I think it's really important that whatever you're speaking, the number one thing you want to be able to think about is, can I get email addresses? Because I want to be able to communicate with my audience and grow my audience after I'm done speaking. So a great way to do that is with QR codes. And TheraSaaS has a QR code builder right inside. So just go to sites and on the left-hand side here, and then you're going to go over to the QR codes right up at the top. And you can see I've already had a few QR codes. So one thing that I did recently, shout out to Whitney at the Wise Practice Summit. So I have a QR code here that I used, and I had a form that I've already associated with it. So when you create a new QR code, you can say, all right, the action I want this QR code to make is a call or a text message, an email, or a form. And I said, I had a form that I want to use called this right here. So whenever somebody scanned the QR code here, it's going to take them to this form. And the way that looks is going to be here. All right. So this is what it's going to look like. Okay. And I wanted them to be able to put their name and phone number and email in here. And So what I did is I just showed it up on the board. I said, here's all these really great free resources, the ones I shared with you today. Download it. To download it, scan the QR code, and what happened is it triggered an automation. So again, trigger the automation. The form is the Wise Summit. I'm going to tag them, deliver an email that says, hey, here are all those free things and some paid, but all those free things. And then I'm going to wait 3 days. And then I'm going to say, hey, why don't you schedule a demo call with me and check it out? All right. So it's a very simple automation, but it was all done. It all started with this QR code. So you have to think, what's my strategy for an event? It could be to grow your brand, but what if you're able to grow your brand in a creative way that uses a QR code to a form that gets an automation, and then inside of TheraSaaS, you can send targeted emails because you've tagged them, the Wise Summit or whatever it might be. This could be done for an open house or a free giveaway. Let me show you one more. Another marketing client I have out in Manhattan. I'm going to trigger their pop-up here real quick. 1 second. There we go. So this is a TheraSaaS form right here. Diana did a free webinar for teens, for parents, but talking about teens and supporting their healing journey. This is a TheraSaaS form. They sign up, get instant access, and they get delivered the free webinar. Okay. So as practice owners, as you're growing your brand, you have to be thinking about, how can I collect email addresses where I'm speaking or or having somebody at my own event? You got to be creative and growing your own brand now. QR codes, forms, all within TheraSaaS, automations. It's great, makes it easy. And then you can segment your audience inside using the SmartLists and email them separately. It's a great feature. So definitely check it out. All right, killer feature number 15. And this is how you can sell an ebook or a tool or a product through TheraSaaS. All right, it's amazing. Let's jump in and I'll show you. So what you need to do is go to your payments here on the left-hand side. Okay, click on your payments, go all the way over to your integrations, and you're going to want to integrate your Stripe account. Stripe is just the easiest way to integrate things within TheraSaaS and also with your bank. So have a Stripe account. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click over on products, and you're going to go ahead and click on create a product, or you can import a product if it's already in Stripe. But if you create it here, it will automatically update your Stripe account. So give it a name, description, fill in the blanks, the relative, is it a reoccurring subscription? So if you're doing a reoccurring coaching program or something like that, or if it's just a one-time cost. All right. So what I did was I sold this little Chat GPT brand script generator, just kind of testing it out to see who would buy it at a conference. All right. So I created this custom Chat GPT right here, right, as a product. And then I went and I created a payment link. Okay. So you create a new payment link and then select the product that you're looking to sell right here. Okay. That's what you would do. And then what I did is I copied that link. But actually, let me show you one more thing. You can actually send it to a different page to download if you want. So after they purchase, they go to this custom Chat GPT link, opens in a different tab. All right. So that's one way. You can redirect them to a different page so they can download it. Maybe it's a page on your website for an ebook. Let me now show you another thing that I did to take it a step further. Okay, and what I'm going to show you, this is actually a workflow. This is going to be the new builder. This is vertical. This is the advanced builder. So what we had is when an order was submitted, so that payment link, and there you go, is the brand script generator. I'm going to add a tag. There's a tag that was added, and then send them the email with the link to it. So that's how we did it. It was pretty awesome, and it works pretty well. So again, now you can sell products, connect those purchases actions to a workflow, use tags, and send emails to deliver the asset. It could be an ebook, webinar, whatever it might be. And you can do with paid products. You can also do with free. All right, that was killer feature number 15 if you wanted to sell a tool, a product, or an ebook or something like that. Killer feature number 16 is a little more advanced, but it's something that a lot of practice owners are starting to do, and how you can use TheraSaaS to organize an event. This could be like an open house. This could be a conference. I'm going to show you a little bit behind the scenes how I do it for my own conference. It's called the Group Practice Scaling Summit in the Chicagoland area every year. I'm going to show you a little bit how we do it. All right, let me show you. All right, so this is the Group Practice Scaling Summit. We're going into our third year here in Chicago, and we run the entire thing with TheraSaaS. So a couple of things I want to be able to show you first is a little bit of our automation. So what we have is a speaker form. So once they fill out the form, we interview them. They can submit, what they like to talk about, and then we have a speaker agreement. So what is this? Enable autosave now. We actually have a survey that they fill out if they want to speak. And so this is going to be inside TheraSaaS. This is a let's see here. This is a survey. Let me go to sites here real quick. And I will show you what I mean. So we have our surveys, and so we have one just for the speakers to get information. Okay, so we have our speaker submission survey. We also have a post-summit feedback that we send to all the attendees to get feedback. And let me jump over here. And we also have a document, so the speaker contract. So if I go to payments, you can actually send a templated, the Group Practice Scaling Summit speaker agreement. So this is what you're agreeing to when you speak, and they can sign it. And that's all automated in our workflows right here. Okay. So that's also a really cool, powerful feature in TheraSaaS is that you can send, templated documents for them to sign. Okay. So let me go back to the workflow. So that's dealing with speakers. We also have obviously a nurture campaign, ticket automations. So we have waitlist tags that we do automations for, registration confirmations. So if I was to click on this, you'll see that if there is a purchase of a ticket, okay. Actually, I need to just update this. This is going to be, instead of a 2025 order form, I got to just update it. We'll just say order form here. All right. So what happens is we add a tag, and we're going to put a wait step in, and then they're going to send an email to Nate and I, who we run it, and say, hey, you just got another purchase. And then I just have another internal notification. So this is a registration confirmation. Now, what we do with these tags is we'll create SmartLists and then send emails about hotel registrations, event reminders, all those things. So now we are able to create a SmartList and have all those people in place. And let's see what else here. So what you can do is you obviously would create a product inside, you connect it to Stripe, and you can create a product like a ticket. You can have multiple tickets if you want and sell it that way. You could, the links that, if you have different, like we're doing a different, more complex system on the back end, which I won't get into now, but this is like a funnel page that we created, and we can embed this form, TheraSaaS form and payment thing inside, so they can select multiple tickets, like a work spouse ticket and things like that. But what you could do is inside of your payments, you would just need to create a product, and that would be one of your tickets, like the Summit Early Bird ticket. Okay. So you got all that. And then you would just create, like in the last, I think 2 killer features ago, you can create a link to that price or to that ticketing product, and then send it out to your email list if you want. And then make sure you have some of your automations in the back end ready to go. So if we wanted to, we could also extend this out with several other emails if we wanted to. Welcoming them. Here's what to expect. Here's all the different hotels. We just don't have it on here right now. So yeah, this is a pretty powerful way to be able to organize an event. I do recommend, if you have a separate, if it's a totally separate brand, have this be a separate TheraSaaS account. I do offer discounts for people who want multiple TheraSaaS accounts for different brands. But if it's consistent with what your private practice is doing, again, you don't have to have a big conference event, but you could also do like an open house. Yeah, I guess track people and then send out emails and tagging them this way. So there you have it, 16 killer features inside TheraSaaS. So if you want to level up TheraSaaS this year, send it over to your practice admin or whoever's integrating TheraSaaS into your practice. I guarantee at least one of these could be really helpful in helping streamline something of your operations and your marketing, in your sales, or even just internal, like that really sweet onboarding course idea. And I think it will also find ways for you to maybe consolidate your tech stack and save even money that way. All right, so there you go. We'll see you in the next video.